some well-recognized instructors in the shooting community that promote certain types of things, whether it be a training technique, a specific type of firearm, or certain features of a firearm. While going through some of the interviews online, I've come across a few where Chris Costa talks about how he sets up his firearms and why. Those of you who are unfamiliar with Chris Costa might want to read his biography, but in short, his experience comes from both the private sector. He was the CEO of Magpul Dynamics, as well as working with the Department of Homeland Security and counter-drug operations with the Coast Guard. In collaboration with a Michigan company called ATEI, Mr. Costa asked for certain enhancements on his fighting pistols. One of these enhancements is known as stippling, and that's what you've been looking at the past few minutes. According to Mr. Costa, the reason why a fighting handgun should be stippled is the user's ability to maintain a good, firm grasp on the handgun, no matter what the conditions a user might be under, whether this is mud, sweat, water, and Costa uses the extreme example of blood. So this is what I deem the Chris Costa test. I have two full-size M&P pistols from Smith & Wesson. This is our variable test. Both are done under dry conditions. The first was a non-stippled handgun, and here is the stippled handgun. Following Chris Costa's instructions would be wetting an unloaded firearm and applying just any regular household dish soap to replicate the slipperiness and consistency of blood. Per Costa's instructions, the next step is to manipulate your firearm. Well, I chose to simulate somewhat of a gun grab, but right here I had to adjust my grip because the handgun had been slipping out, even just from that slight movement. I don't know how much explanation this needs, but I had to adjust my grip on this slippery non-stippled M&P even before my assistant started to apply pressure. While I am death gripping this handgun, my assistant applies very little force to take it from me. And even here, seeing that I'm using both hands, he is able to take it with just one. Now, some of you might be thinking that a gun grab is a little extreme. However, doing simple malfunction drills or even reloads becomes much more difficult with unknown elements entered into the equation. Because we're not here for a lesson in doing dishes, I'm going to speed this portion up and get to the good stuff. Well, there it is, everybody. Having your handgun stippled or some sort of textured grip will aid in your positive retention of your own handgun when unknown elements are entered into the equation. If you've been debating on whether or not to have your handgun stippled, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. Doug over at ATEI does a phenomenal job at grip work, gunsmithing, and other upgrades to your fighting pistols.